Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the results of the weekend's hurling. So, there was only hurling this weekend, no football. Next weekend there will be only football and no hurling. So, let's jump right in. So, up first we had the Royne 1B match between Antrim and Dublin. And Antrim opened up the scoring, going 1 point up in the first minute. The half eventually finished level with 1-8 each. Antrim opened the second half scoring with another point 1 minute in. And the game eventually finished Antrim 2-15, Dublin 2-19. So another win for Dublin. Oh no, the first win for Dublin. They drew the last time. But another loss for Antrim. But once again, very close. They're definitely doing their best. So the final score, Antrim 2-15, Dublin 2-19. Next up, we have the Royne 1A match between Limerick and Galway. Galway coming off a great win over Offaly, and Limerick coming off an unfortunate loss to Wexford. And Limerick opened the scoring, going 1 goal and 1 point up in the first 3 minutes. So they started off very strong. They also finished the half in the lead, 1-9 to 10 points. Limerick opened the second half scoring with 1.4 minutes in. And the game eventually finished Limerick 118, Galway 27. So another win for Galway and another unfortunate loss for Limerick. Limerick really not playing like the All-Ireland champions at the minute. Galway definitely looking to take their spot at the top of the league at the minute. So there's their final score. Limerick 118, Galway 27 points. Up next we have the first of our Sunday games. It is Longford v Fermanagh. And Fermanagh opened the scoring, going 3 points up in the first 2 minutes. And Fermanagh finished the half in the lead, 5 points to 110. And for the entire second half, Longford went 6 points unanswered. So the score eventually finished Longford 11 points, Fermanagh 110. So a very close game, only 2 points in it in the end. Fermanagh still doing pretty well, but Longford came very close, but unfortunately weren't able to do it. Final score, Longford 11 points, Fermanagh 110. Up next we have another Royne 3B clash between Cavan and Lancashire. And Lancashire opened the scoring, going 2 points up in the first minute. Lancashire finished the half in the lead, 4 points to 15. Cavan opened the second half scoring 1 point 1 minute in. And the game eventually finished Cavan 12 points. Lancashire 23. So Lancashire finishing with nearly double Cavan's score. So Lancashire, after coming off a loss to Leitrim, have turned things around against Cavan. So a good win for them. Final score, Cavan 12 points, Lancashire 23 points. Up next we have a Royne 3A clash between Monaghan and Armagh. Monaghan opened the scoring, going 2 points up in the first 6 minutes. Armagh finished the half in the lead, 7 points to 112. Armagh opened the second half scoring with a goal and 7 points. And that was 13 minutes in. And the game eventually finishes Monaghan 13 points. Armagh 422. So a very dominant win for Armagh over Monaghan. So very good for them. Final score, Monaghan 13 points, Armagh 422. Up next we have another Rowan 3A clash between Louth and Roscommon. And Roscommon opened the scoring, going 5 points up in the first 6 minutes. Roscommon finished the half in the lead, 7 points to 13. Louth opened the second half scoring with a point 1 minute in. And the game eventually finishes Louth 14 points. Roscommon 221. So a very good win for Roscommon over Louth. Final score, Louth 14 points, Roscommon 221. Up next we have our final Rowan 3A clash, and it is between Tyrone and Warwickshire. Warwickshire not doing great at the minute. Tyrone doing okay. Tyrone opened the scoring going 1 goal and 2 points up. And Tyrone finished the half in the lead, 210 to 6 points. And Tyrone opened the second half scoring with a goal and 9 points. The game eventually finishes Tyrone 429. Warwickshire 7 points. So Warwickshire got absolutely destroyed in this match. And Tyrone, it's definitely a good boost for them to get such a dominant win. So final score, Tyrone 429, Warwickshire 7 points. Up next we have a Rowan 2B clash between Sligo and Donegal. The scoring opened Sligo 1-3, Donegal 2 points. Donegal finished the half in the lead, 2-7 to 112. Donegal opened the second half scoring with 3 points 3 minutes in. And the game eventually finishes Sligo 214, Donegal 119. So a good win for Donegal by 2 points over Sligo. It was a close game, as expected. So it'll be interesting to see how they go into their next fixtures. So the final score, Sligo 214, Donegal 119. Up next we have another Rowan 2B clash between Wicklow and Derry. The scoring opened Wicklow 1 point, Derry 1 point. And Derry finished the half in the lead, 8 points to 10. And Derry opened the second half scoring with 7 points. And the game eventually finishes Wicklow 12 points. Derry 224. So a pretty dominant win for Derry over Wicklow. And that'll hopefully give them good momentum going into their next fixture. So the final score, Wicklow 12 points, Derry 224. Up next we have our final round 2B clash between London and Mayo. And the scoring opens London 3 points, Mayo 1 point. London finished the half in the lead, 3-5 to 1-6. And the second half scoring opens 3-8 to 1-7. And the game eventually finishes London 4-11. Mayo 1-10. So a good win for London after losing their first game. A big turnaround for them. Hopefully they can make the most of it and get themselves into a position to be promoted. So the final score, 4-11, Mayo 1-10. Up next we have our first round 2A clash between Carlow and Westmeath. Carlow opened the scoring going 4 points up in the first 6 minutes. And Carlow finished the half in the lead 14 points to 8. Westmeath opened the second half scoring with a point 2 minutes in. And the game eventually finished Carlow 120. Westmeath 114. So a very unfortunate loss for Westmeath there, but a good win for Carlow. So the final score, Carlow 120, Westmeath 114. So up next we have another round 2A clash between Meath and Down. The scoring opens Meath 1 point, Down 1 goal. Down finished the half in the lead 11 points to 2-9. Meath opened the second half scoring with a goal and 1 point. And the game eventually finishes Meath 119, Down 218. So a good win for Down there. Close enough though. Meath should be able to bounce back in the next round. But there's your final score. Meath 119, Down 218. Up next we have our final round 2A clash between Kerry and Kildare. Kerry opened the scoring going 1 point up in the first 4 minutes. Kildare finished the half in the lead 1-6 to 1-7. And Kildare opened the second half scoring with 4.7 minutes in. And the game eventually finished Kerry 418. Kildare 216. So a good win for Kerry over Kildare. Kildare did their best to hold on, but Kerry just managed to edge it out in the end. So the final score, Kerry 418, Kildare 216. Up next we have the Round 1 Group B match between Tipperary and Kilkenny. And Tipperary opened the scoring going 3 points up in the first 9 minutes. Tipperary finished the half in the lead 111 to 8 points. Kilkenny opened the second half scoring with a point 2 minutes in. And the game eventually finished Tipperary 119, Kilkenny 118. So a very, very close game between Tipperary and Kilkenny. Kilkenny were unlucky not to at least get the draw out of it. But a good win for Tipperary. So there's your final score. Tipperary 119, Kilkenny 118. Up next we have our final Round 1 Group B match between Waterford and Laois. Waterford opened the scoring going 2 points up in the first 4 minutes. And Waterford finished the half in the lead 5-12 to 11 points. So Waterford with a very good start. Laois opened the second half scoring with 3 points 4 minutes in. The game eventually finished Waterford 7-31 to 19 points. Like that is such a dominant victory for Waterford over Laois. I think Laois could I think it could definitely be Laois that end up getting relegated, but who knows. But they're definitely at the bottom of their group, and it's easy to see why. So final score, Waterford 7-31, Laois 19 points. Up next we have the Round 1 Group A match between Cork and Offaly. Or Offaly and Cork, I should say. Cork opened the scoring going 2 goals and 1 point up in the first 2 minutes. So that'll give you an indication of how this one's going to go. Cork finished the half in the lead 8 points to 3-12. So you can see another very dominant game happening. Cork opened the second half scoring 1 point 1 minute in. And the game eventually finished Offaly 115. Cork 425. So Offaly put up a better fight against Cork than Laois did against Waterford, but it's still a very dominant win for Cork over Offaly. So there's your final score. Offaly 115, Cork 425. So our final game of the weekend is the Round 1 Group A clash between Clare and Wexford. And Clare opened the scoring going a point up. Wexford finished the half in their lead 1-7 to 1-9. So a good comeback for Wexford at the break. And Clare opened the second half scoring with another 2 points to bring things level. And the game eventually finished Clare 120. Wexford 220. So Wexford getting that all-important goal to put them 3 points ahead by the time the final whistle came around. So another unfortunate loss for Clare, but they were a bit closer this time, and another good win for Wexford by another 3 points. So final score, Clare 120, Wexford 220. So there you have it. Those are the results of the weekend's hurling fixtures. The next video will be my predictions for the weekend's football fixtures. So I'll see you for that. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you for the next one.